Hey, my legion, I'm back with another shark movie review, and this is Megalodon. This is the Asylum's version of the Meg that just came out. But there was no way I was going to watch this before watching the Meg. No way, in case they gave away and stuff. And I heard there was a Megalodon made a long time ago, about 10 or so years ago. I've not seen that, but I'm not. I'm gonna after. I mean, I got some more shark movie reviews to do within the next week or two, and then after that, I might take a little break. I'll get burnt out from shark movies. And this is a sci-fi on another sci-fi channel movie that premiered. And like this is their version of the Meg. And what they did, they tried to be super serious in this one. There was one part that I kind of laughed at. I don't know if that was meant to be funny or not. And this takes place. They start the Russians. They have a Russian sub, and they're drilling something called U.S. I had it written down. I can't remember something they shouldn't be drilling to try to get U.S. secrets. And then they said drill harder, drill fast, and then they slipped or something, and then you see this giant megalodon getting let loose. And no spoilers. That's what. And no spoilers what the Russians were doing. That's what they said at the beginning of the movie. And the shark bites half of the thing, killing most of the men, and a couple, like 3 survived, and they sealed themselves off in this one thing. And then you cut to a big ship from the Navy, and they said, "I want to welcome you recruits. Your very first mission on this ship. I'm your captain, and I'm gonna let you listen to the admiral, and he's gonna address the troops." And the admiral was played by Michael Madsen, who did and that was the big star in this movie. And he gave his address and stuff, and then you hear some stuff about this one ship in the bottom of the ocean. And they say the Russian, and then that's one, they said we have a chance to rescue these guys, even though they're the bad guys. And this one girl that's said she wanted to send her ship down, like the little bell thing she'd been writing on, and she designed the whole thing and said, all right. There's lots of military grandstanding in this one. So, but I'm just trying to speed up the plot for the review. And she goes down, gets the guys out, but they're held prisoners. She wants to know what the heck they're doing down there. And then you see the shark come, and the shark ends up swallowing the ship they were saved in, and they have to try to get them out of the shark. Now, if this would have been exciting, it would have been something. It's not exciting, but the acting's really good. The CGI for the shark is very good. For Asylum anyway, and then the CGI starts to fail towards the end. But they tried to do a super serious movie. They finally got the guys free, and then they're still trying to hunt the shark. And they end up capturing the Russians. And the Russians, the fighting between the Russians and the Americans on the ship takes a backseat to the shark. And that's actually a little more exciting because that's easier to pull off. And there's a couple emotional scenes towards the end with that actually got to me a little bit, that were really good. And for the most part, this wasn't a bad little movie. It wasn't a great movie, though. It's definitely worth a one shot. The biggest problem is just not exciting. See, it's spam. I get that crap all the time. That's why I didn't answer. Hello, 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 hello. That threw me off. But for the most part, it's an alright movie. There was a couple of scenes I really liked that really pushed it up a little bit, because I got ready to give it a 6 out of 10. It's definitely worth a one-time watch. Just the stuff with the shark, it was interesting, but it started to get better eventually. But, it just wasn't exciting. That was the biggest flaw. But, I think they did an alright job. If you want to see a more serious shark movie, because most of the ones that I've been reviewing have just been silly and fun. Or sometimes just silly and stupid. But this one's tries to be more serious. It's just not very exciting. But I think a Megalodon, the new one, is definitely worth at least a shot. At least a one-time view. I think my dad probably would have thought the end of thing it was stupid, but I think my dad would have said it was an alright movie. It's an okay movie. I give it a very mild 7 out of 10. Just because of a few good scenes and some of the fighting between, I mean, and, other than that. So I hope you like this review, everybody. Until next time, please, take care of my legion.